So we have Barrel and Ah plucked straight from Beach Grit's headlines today. Barrel and Ah taking a break from surfing.
Sam George, who would have ever thought that he took 14 whole days off?
When
I
the
mean,
when I read the headline for the article, it was something about abstinence, and I was like, "Wow, Sam George take like, taking a break from sex is what I thought." And so I read the article and realized he missed 2 weeks of surfing.
2 weeks of surfing. And Barrel taking time off surfing. You will guaranteed, you are not an Olympian, dear listener. You are not a championship tour surfer. You legit take a little time off. You come back somehow magically surfing better than you've ever surfed before.
What's the appropriate, or what's the longest you've taken off?
Well, right now I'm on a solid month and a half. And this is probably the longest in as long as I can remember, to be honest.
Do you miss it?
I'm in Paris, France, David Lee Scales, and so no.
I think a
Kid
month
misses
is
it. Kid is like itching. I just want to. She checks surf reports and stuff. 11.
really.
Yeah, is like it was sunny and the waves were like 2 to 3 feet today. And
Wow.
gets weepy about it. I'm like, you shush your mouth and eat another snail.
Um, I loved this too. I mean, it's hilarious that Sam George, 2 weeks out of the water was traumatic
That's
for
his
him.
big thing.
Yeah, 2 weeks is nothing. Um, but I've taken a month, I think probably is kind of my longest. And I've done a number of times and not intentionally, but just because I wasn't injured or wasn't away from the ocean. It's just life gets busy and the waves happen to be crappy when you do have a chance to surf.
Yeah.
So maybe I had a month away, but I agree with you entirely. It is a phenomenal reset. And it's no better way to kind of stoke the flames of passion for something than by having absence make the heart grow fonder, essentially. If you woke up every day, let's say in Las Vegas, and there's a buffet for breakfast, a buffet for lunch, and a buffet for dinner, you would not enjoy food very much for very long. After day three, you'd in fact start to resent it.
Yes.
So
Yes. Complete barrel. Everyone should do it fast. Like intermittent fasting, all of this, it's all trendy. Like take a surf fast. Do it.
totally agree. Who would have thunk Sam George would lead us here?
I mean, he is the surf guru.
We've got another one coming in from a listener line. I've been meaning to play this for you for weeks because I know that you have a strong opinion about it. So here we go.
All right, guys, need you to weigh in on something here. I'm having a big argument with my group of male friends about merging in traffic. I believe that you should utilize both lanes or all lanes up until you're a reasonable distance from the merge point. Not excessive, but just a respectable distance where you're not cutting anybody off, and then merge in. The zipper. You got to do the zipper. A few of my friends are adamant that I'm a terrible person for this, and they believe that you should merge over immediately as soon as you know that you're supposed to merge. I have applied my technique and driven happily for a mile and a half in an open travel lane and still been able to merge in about a quarter mile, maybe an eighth of a mile before the merge point. Am I a bad person? Am I doing this wrong? I believe that the person who invented the merge intended for us to use all the lanes until it was time to merge. Thoughts? Thanks.
Do you know what he's talking about? I don't have to
So
explain that
important.
further.
Of course, of course. And we're talking not about merging onto a freeway here, of like from your entrance point to the freeway. We are talking about lanes are getting closed down for whatever reason on the freeway. Cones out. You got everybody's coming into the
I
center.
think he's also talking about even merging onto a freeway because sometimes that lane goes for a long time and you can either merge immediately or you could wait till the end.
So when it relates to that, we all know what you do. It's hammer town. The person coming on slow is both a danger to themselves and others. You hammer, and if there's an open spot coming on, then you get right over and go. If there's not, you hammer and beat anyone you can and then go. Simple. I 100% agree with him on the when the lane is closing down, right? Uh, this one here, I think traffic is caused. Fortune favors the bold, David Lee Scales. And the person who gets over early, oh, it's time to merge, gets over early. You're causing traffic earlier than it should be. I think you hammer town down, like aggressive driving is good driving. And that doesn't make traffic. Traffic is made by weak-willed Felipe Toledo driving, where you're pussing out super early or being awkward and slowing. Like if you're hammer town till the end, boop, in your lane, you're not slowing anyone down, which
Right.
is you are full barrel. You're our dear listeners right, his friends are wrong. You take advantage of the entire thing and you merge as fast as you can. That's the thing. You don't stop and then you're like flying and you keeping an eye out for that opening, right? But you go as far as you can and then you pop the opening.
Yeah, I think you got it right. I'm not going to say that our listeners right and his friends are wrong because he might be painting himself in the best light here because he left me a little bit confused by saying he uses the travel lane as long as he can and then gets over if that travel lane's open and he has an opportunity to go over. But he also said, you zipper, you want a zipper. Well, that's not the zipper. The zipper is every other car zippers together, right? So the zipper is the correct way to do it. But it's tough to answer because there isn't one general rule that you can apply to all merging scenarios because freeways are at different cadences, like but your rule is correct in that the ultimate golden rule is to maintain the flow of traffic without slowing or backing things up. And sometimes that means jump in immediately. Sometimes it means waiting till the last minute. So you need to apply that rule as you see best fit. But I agree with you. Hammertown is usually the right answer. And the biggest offender for me is the people driving in the slow lane that are making it more difficult for me to merge in. And so they need to get the hell out of the slow lane. Like if you see that there's a scenario within the next half mile where people are entering the freeway and you're in that slow lane and you don't need to exit, get the hell out of the slow lane. Make room for those people to get onto the freeway because they're the ones who are the biggest problem. And sometimes they're not even trying to like keep pace. Like I'm coming on, I'm trying to get up to 65 miles an hour because that's the freeway speed. You're going 55. How am I
Yeah.
entering the freeway going faster than you going 55? Or somebody's going 90 in that lane and it's like, I can't get up to 90 right now. Get the hell out. You know what I mean? So everybody needs to give a little bit here and everybody needs to have a little bit more awareness of the surroundings and what's going on. But I do agree with the listener. If there's a mile and a half of travel lane and that's wide open and the freeway's crowded, you're actually doing everybody a favor by staying in that travel lane until the last minute.
You're not a problem. And I think rule of thumb, aggressive driving wins the day. Like if you're when in doubt, drive aggressively.
So the opposite of that is um, what defensive driving, maybe,
Yeah, which that's not chill.
which means everybody would be hovering over the brake pedal and waiting and second guessing, which means it'd be gridlock everywhere you go at all times with people waiting for the
Exactly.
other person to go first. What aggressive driving does is gets everybody there 10 minutes faster.
We're team offensive driving here.
Offensive driving with your head on a swivel, fully alert, drinking the brine.
Done.
Good. All right. Well, we solved it. And the third barrel now is ketchup on a hot dog. We already did it.
Ketchup on a hot dog is a full barrel with a complement of others. But if you are uh your best hot dog, pure hot dog, I can't even say that because there's hot dog has like jumped into some delicacy. Yeah, ketchup on a dog is totally fine. But if you're gonna be a purist, the person who just does mustard on a dog is weird.
I agree, but I'm going no ketchup, no barrel on ketchup anymore. Outgrew it. Don't need it. If I want a little bit of sweetness, I go relish, and that's the superior, condiment on a hot dog, anyways.
I hear you, unless there's nacho cheese around.